So let's all begin in a comfortable cross-legged seat on our mat. Find a seat where you can sit up nice and tall. Spine is vertical, ears over your shoulders. Take an inhale, roll your shoulders up towards your ears. And on the exhale, allow the shoulder blades to roll down onto your back. And just close your eyes here and begin to tune into the breath. Feeling the coolness of the inhale, warm exhalation through the nostrils. You can keep the eyes open or closed. If they're open, trying to find a soft gaze. And for a few minutes, we're going to practice 1-2 breathing, which is where we work on lengthening the exhalation. That's going to calm our nervous system, lower the heart rate, and start to release some tension in the body. And we'll just start with normal count. So inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. And we'll do this a few more times. And gradually, when you're ready, seeing if you can keep that 4 count on the inhale, but start to lengthen the exhale to 6. Feeling your torso expanding in all directions on the inhale. Maybe feeling even the top of the head rising. And then a sense of grounding on the exhale. Sinking into the ground. See if now you can lengthen your exhale all the way to 8 counts. So we breathe in for 4. And then steady, slow, 8 count exhale. Not pushing the air out, just allowing it to drain slowly. Just feeling yourself relax, feeling the heart rate slowing down, feeling the benefits of our lengthened exhale. If you want, you can even try increasing the inhalation and just doubling that time for the exhale. So maintaining that ratio where our exhale is double the duration of the inhale. I'll just be here for just another moment or so. And let's do that final breath, whatever count you've settled upon. Letting go all the air. And then on the bottom of the exhale, allow yourself to begin to transition now to a normal breath. And on your next inhale, sweep your arms all the way overhead. Take a stretch. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And take this time to set an intention for the next 45 minutes of practice. And we'll seal that intention with one more breath in, sweeping the arms overhead. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Take a gentle neck stretch now. So just allow your right fingers to go out to the right, left hand to the left shoulder, and let your left ear drop towards your left shoulder. It's really nice to stretch the neck out in the morning. Sometimes we sleep funky. And then if it's comfortable, start to shift your gaze towards your left armpit. You'll see how that changes the stretch towards the base of the skull. Keep feeling that connection with the ground through your right fingertips. And then slowly bring your head back up to center, other side. Left fingers out, right fingers to the right shoulder. Let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. And keep the eyes closed here if you'd like. Just tuning into the sensations in the body. And then if it felt okay on the other side and it feels okay on this side, start to shift your gaze towards the right armpit. Still maintaining the connection with the left fingers on the ground. And then slowly come all the way back upright. Just do a couple more of those shoulder circles now, reaching them up towards your ears and then down your back. Full deep breaths. Good. On your inhale, arms sweep back up overhead. And as you exhale, twist towards the left. Bring your left fingertips behind you. Bring your right fingertips in front of you on your yoga mat. And then press down through both hands. Start to turn the chest towards your left shoulder. Another inhale. And as you exhale, twist to the other side. Right fingers behind you, left fingers in front of you. On the inhale, grounding down through the fingertips to lift the heart. And on the exhale, twisting just a little deeper. Good. And then we'll come all the way back to center. Come onto hands and knees. Tabletop. Spread your fingers wide onto the ground. Palms or shoulders width apart, knees hips width distance. Just start to take a couple cat-cows to warm up the spine. Arching the back on the inhale, gazing upwards. And as you exhale, round through the spine, looking in towards your navel, straightening the arms as much as possible. Continue with that, inhaling, arching, gazing up. Exhale, round. And you can continue with this at your own pace. Maybe you want to take a couple breaths in any one of these poses. So perhaps staying in cow for the exhale, seeing how that feels. If there's any other movements that you want to add in to help you warm up the spine, it's a great time to take it as well. Maybe that's hip circles, or just simply waving the spine side to side. Whatever feels good right now. If you're moving in any one direction, make sure that you get the other direction. And they'll all meet in a neutral spine after your next exhale. On your inhale, find that neutral spine, and then extend your left leg straight back behind you. Flex through the left foot, and then start to bend your left knee, sticking it out to the left. And we'll just start to circle that knee, opening the hip, staying grounded through the palms, trying to keep your right hip over your right knee. Be noticing any cracks, tightness. Just take one more circle, and then just place it down next to your right. We'll reset with a round of cat-cow. Deep breath in, And full exhale. Inhale, return to your neutral spine, then extend your right leg straight out behind you. Flex through the right foot, and then start to bend through the right knee, and we'll circle that knee. So extending the knee out to the right, and then behind you, and then back towards the left knee. Getting into the hip gently. Stay strong through your palms. Maintain your steady breath if established. And one more. Allow your right knee to come back down and send your hips back towards your heels. Brief child's pose. Sink your forehead down into the ground. Chest sinking towards the mat as well. Maybe rock side to side a little bit. And then inhale, look forward at your hands. We'll just slither all the way onto our bellies. And then hands come in beside the ribs. Inhale for baby cobra. So barely even lifting, little to no weight in the hands. Press your pelvis down into the mat. And on the exhale, come back down, forehead to the ground. 2 more rounds of this inhale. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Hug your elbows together. Exhale slowly back down. Okay, final one. Inhale, lifting up. Maybe you lift up a little bit higher. And then exhale, lower. Now we'll bring our fingers off the mat, so it's a wide-armed cobra, finding that bend in the elbows, about 90 degrees. And then inhale, lift the chest now, using the fingers to support you. Roll your shoulders down, away from the ears. As you exhale, dip your left shoulder, gaze towards the right, twisting through the chest. And then inhale to center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. And then lower all the way down to the belly. Plant your hands, come onto tabletop, transitioning into our first down dog of class. In this down dog, just start to bend your knees one at a time to ease into this pose. Noticing where you feel tight. Maybe it's the hamstrings. Take a deep, deep inhale. And an open mouth exhale. Let your heels sink down towards the mat. As you inhale, look forward at your thumbs, and then roll yourself forward to plank. Shoulders stacked over the wrists. Inhale here. Exhale back to your down dog. Roll the shoulder blades together. Inhale, look forward, come back into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just one more of those. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, sending the hips back. Take another deep inhale, finding stillness in the body. And an open mouth exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, lift your left leg up towards the sky. Sink your right heel down as you lift your left heel. And then hug your left knee in towards your chest, coming into plank. And then softly lower the left foot in between the hands. Lower the right knee down. If your right knee is sensitive, keep the right toes tucked under. Otherwise, bring the top of the right foot down to the mat. Inhale, pull your chest forward, staying high on the fingertips. Breathe into the stretch. And start to walk your hands all the way up to the top of your left thigh. And then inhale, arms sweep overhead. As you exhale, cactus the arms. And then inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, palms down to the mat. Step your left knee next to your right, back into tabletop. Cat-cow, inhale, arch. Exhale, round. And then tuck the toes under, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up. Hips are squared. As you exhale, right knee comes in towards the chest, holding it here for a moment. And then softly as you can, stepping the right foot down in between the hands and lowering the left knee. Untuck the left toes if that left knee is feeling good. And then spending a moment here, pulling the chest forward, lifting. Find that steady cadence of the breath. Slowly start to walk your palms on top of your right thigh. Draw your right hip back. And then inhale, arms reach up. Next, exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, arms sweep back up. And then palms come back down to the mat. Plant your right knee back next to your left. And then lower all the way down onto the belly. Inhale for cobra. Pull your elbows in towards one another. And then we'll stay here for an extra breath. So maybe rock a little side to side. Look over one shoulder and then the other. And then slowly lower all the way back down. Bring your forearms down, parallel to one another, just for a little Sphinx pose. Our elbows are stacked underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide. Pull the ground towards you with your hands, lift your heart. And then start to press down through the forearms, tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the mat, and then gradually lift the legs off the mat, lift the hips, forward plank. Just one breath in here. As you exhale, bring one palm at a time down to straight arm plank, and then send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Bring your feet as wide as your yoga mat. Shorten the stance a little, meaning walk your toes in towards your hands a bit. And then plant your right palm a little further over to the left, so it's kind of in the center line of your yoga mat. And then twisting, bring your left hand to the outside of your right leg. So maybe that's your right thigh or your calf or ankle. Gazing under the right armpit, pull your chest towards the right. And then keep grounding energetically through the right palm. Strong, steady breath. And then switch sides. Left palm to the top of the mat at the center line. Right hand towards the outside of the left leg or the left calf. And then pull your heart towards the left. Keep pressing those sits bones up and back. And then release. Come back into your down dog. And stay in this wide-legged variation for one inhale. As you exhale, start to walk your palms in towards your feet. And then toe heel your feet off your yoga mat. So you're in a wide-legged forward fold. I'm just going to turn to face the camera. Just surrender here. Maybe start to walk the hands between the legs. Sits bones reaching towards the sky. Just take one more inhale. As you exhale, plant the fingertips underneath your chest. Take a halfway lift, lengthening through the spine. And then exhale, refold. Bring your hands onto your hips. And then grounding down through the feet, come all the way up to standing. Good. Heels in, toes go out. Reach your arms up. Star pose. Inhale. As you exhale, palms together, sink down. Goddess pose. A couple sways side to side here. Keeping the spine upright, shoulders away from the ears. And then back to center. Inhale, straighten up, arms overhead. Exhale, palms together, sink down, goddess. Moving with the breath 2 more times. Inhaling. Exhaling. Last one. Deep inhale. Exhale, sink down. Good. Bring your hands towards your thighs. Same thing we were kind of doing in that cobra pose. So drop your left shoulder, gaze towards the right elbow. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale as you drop the right shoulder, gazing towards the left. Inhale, back to center. Hands to heart. See if you can drop the hips just a little lower, feeling a little burn. And then slowly straighten up. So we're at the back of our mat in that wide-legged fold. Start to toe heel your feet all the way back to touch. And then walk yourself back into your downward facing dog. Deep breath in the down dog. Complete exhale. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. Bend through the left knee, open the hip. Start to circle the hip. And then straighten out, square back off, find your 3-legged dog, and step your left foot all the way in between your hands. Keep your right knee lifted. Inhale, pull your chest forward. And then grounding down through both feet, lift your arms overhead. And the option is always there to keep the right knee down. Inhale. As you exhale, left hand takes the right forearm, lift up through that arm, and then over to the left. Keep grounding down through the left big toe. High on the ball of the right foot, if that knee's lifted. And then come back up to center, release the arm. Inhale. Exhale, lower palms down to the mat. Step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale here in your down dog. Stay for the exhale. And then other side, inhale, lift the right leg up. Bend through the right knee, open the hip. Fingers spread wide. Start to make some circles through the hip if that feels good. Maintaining smooth breath. And then straighten that leg out behind you. Square the hips off your 3-legged dog. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Step it in between your hands. High on the fingertips, pull the chest forward. On the exhale, ground down through both feet. Come all the way up to standing. Keep lifting the back of the left leg up towards the sky. But feel free to modify if balance is a little hard right now. Right hand to the left forearm. Pull up on the left forearm, lengthening the left side body, and then bend over towards the right. Keep the connection between the right foot and the ground. Just one more breath in. As you exhale back to center, lower the hands down to the mat. Step it back to plank. Inhale in your plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Come all the way down. Come onto the belly. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Draw your knuckles towards your heels and lift your heart up.
Keep the back of your neck long so you can have a little tuck of the chin. And then squeeze the inner thighs together, maybe lifting the legs off the mat if that feels good. Take another full round of breath here. And on the exhale, lower all the way down. Make a little pillow for your forehead with your hands. And then palms come down to the mat, lift up into tabletop. Grounding down through the left palm, lift the right arm up, reaching your right fingertips up to the sky. And on the exhale, threading the needle, bringing your right shoulder down to the mat. Press down through the back of the right hand and the right forearm. Keep your left fingertips in front of your face, or start to take a half bind, reaching for the inner right thigh. Smooth out the inhale and the exhale. Just one more round of breath in. And on the exhale, bring your left palm back in front of your face. Unwind, reach the right fingers up, and plant the right palm down. And we'll take the other side. Inhale, left fingers reach up. As you exhale, thread the needle. Left shoulder blade comes down, left side of the head. Right fingers either in front of your face or finding a half bind. One more inhale. On the exhale, bring your right hand back down. Lift your left fingers up. And both hands down to the mat. Tuck the toes under, hips up and back, downward facing dog. On the next inhale, lift your left leg up towards the sky. And then step your left foot all the way in between your hands. Ground down through the right heel. We're coming into warrior two. Strong bend through the left knee, though the left knee's not going past the left toes. Shoulder blades together down your back. On your inhale, flip your left palm, reverse warrior, maintaining the strong bend in the left knee. Maybe taking a half bind, reaching the back of the right hand either to the sacrum or the right fingertips towards the left inner thigh. Keeping that bind, start to straighten the left leg. Reverse triangle. And then hinge forward, reach through the left fingers, lengthening the right side body, coming into a bound triangle. If that's not comfortable for your arm, release that arm. And being easy on the neck here, no need to gaze up at the sky. If that's going to bother your neck, you can just look at the horizon, you can look down at the mat. One more breath here. And then unwind that bind if you've got it. Frame your left foot, bend through the left knee. Step it back, down dog. Inhale in your down dog. Exhale, sink the heels further down. And then other side, inhale, lift the right leg up. Step your right foot in between your hands. Lower the left heel, coming up into warrior two. Torso's right over the hips. Arms extended out wide. On your next inhale, flip the right palm, reverse warrior. Maintain the strong bend in the right knee. The whole right arm is fired up here. The right fingertips are spread wide. And then see if you can take some of that weight out of the left hand, maybe bringing the back of the left hand to the sacrum, or finding that bind, reaching for the inner right thigh. And you might need to start to straighten your right knee to wiggle your hand in there, and then you can re-bend it. One more breath in. On the exhale, start to straighten the right leg. We're in a reverse triangle, still bound if that feels okay in the shoulder. And then start to hinge forward. Reach out of the left side body. Reach the right fingers forward, forward, forward. And then lowering the right fingers down, either to the right shin or to the mat. Pull your left shoulder blade down onto the back. Strong through the feet. And easy on the neck. One more breath in here. Release the bind if you have it. Frame your right foot with your hands. Start to bend through the right knee and step it back to plank. Inhale in your plank. As you exhale, roll onto the right outer edge of the right foot and then lower the left heel down. Modified side plank. Your feet are in a line. Just one more breath in. And then left hand down, come back onto the balls of the feet, and then lower the heels towards the left. Our side plank variation on the other side. Lift the right hips up, reach the right fingertips high, and then come back into your plank. Inhale, exhale, try to lower your knees at the same time, tabletop, and then up to standing on the knees. Hands to your hips. We're just going to take a gentle back bend. So we're in our camel stand. So make sure that your knees are, if you make two fists, that your knees are that distance apart. And then come back here. So tuck the toes under for a little more mild variation. And start to press the pelvis forward. Hands can come onto the sacrum like you're about to slide your hands into your pockets. And this can be enough. You can just stay here. Or start to walk the hands down the backs of the thighs if that feels good. Maybe to the heels. Just hold this for another 3 breaths. And as you're ready, slowly coming up, head and neck are the last. And then come on down to sitting on the heels. Good. Close the eyes here for a moment. Just feeling the energy in the body. Camel tends to be a pretty energizing pose. Maybe your heart rate's elevating. And you have the tools to slow it down. And now just roll over to one side. Extend your legs out in front of you. Bring your feet towards the front of the mat. And then we'll slowly roll onto the back. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Even though that's actually impossible because some of your vertebrae are fused. But yoga teachers like to say that, huh? Ground your low back into the mat. Just finding our neutral spine first. And then lower your palms down by your sides. Bring your heels in close enough so you can just tickle them with your fingertips. And we'll do our bridge pulses now. So as you inhale, you lift your hips up, release the glutes, reach your arms overhead, press the backs of your hands into the ground. And then as you exhale, wave the spine down, lower the palms down on either side. Do this at your own pace 3 more times. Just moving with the breath, maybe closing your eyes. And at the end of your last one, just stay here in your neutral spine once more. Maybe let the knees knock in together, feet go out a little wider. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Cross one ankle over the other. We'll just rock and roll on up to seated. Find yourself a comfortable upright seat and then bring the soles of your feet together. Move the flesh out from underneath your sits bones so you can sit up nice and tall. Hold on to the ankles, lift up, and on the exhale, forward fold. Pressing the elbows into the inner knees, reaching the chest towards the big toes. And then slowly lift back up. If your shins are parallel towards the front of your mat, which is how I think you're sitting on your mat right now, start to walk your feet out away from you. So you're bringing a more of a diamond shape into the legs. And then walk your hands towards your right shin and then past it. And then start to fold out over that right shin. You should feel that in the hips. Don't have to go too deep. Just see if you can meet this with curiosity. And breath. And then we'll switch sides however you want to get there. Maybe you just want to walk your fingers over to the left, or you want to come back upright. It's up to you. Inhaling to find the length. Exhale allows us to fold a little deeper. And then slowly walk back up. Hug your inner knees together. And we're coming back onto our backs. Again, slowly coming down. Feeling a little shake. That's good. That's your core. And come all the way down. Hug those knees in towards your chest. And we'll take happy baby pose, flexing through the feet, drawing your knees down towards the ground on either side of your torso. Maybe rock a little bit side to side, straightening one leg out. See if you can tap those toes towards the ground, and then straightening the other. If you didn't have a wall here, would try to tap ground, but maybe you have some more room at home. Maybe both legs straighten at the same time. And then bring your knees back together. Have just a minute for plow or shoulder stand, or if you'd like to just keep your legs straight, soles of the feet extended up towards the sky, or if you have a wall, bring them against a wall. Just 1 minute. I really like to take these more gentle inversion options in the morning. Get the blood flowing, get energized. But I'm often not maybe awake enough to do much handstanding or headstands. But you're welcome to do that if you want. Start to transition back down to your mat. Slowly, slowly. Bring the knees back in towards the chest. And then we'll cross the right ankle on top of the left. Thread your right arm through the gap. Fingers interlace around the left shin. Flex both feet. you want a deeper hip opening, you can start to cradle the right shin so the right foot comes into the crook of the left arm. The knee comes into the crook of the right arm. The left foot might lower down to the ground. You play with this, see how it feels. Another deep breath in. And on the exhale, allow your right leg to cross all the way over the left. Scoot your hips a little to the right, and then let the knees come over to the left. Gentle twist. Gaze over towards the right elbow. Allow the eyes to soften or close. And we'll do this on the other side. Come back to center. Plant the low back into the ground. And then cross the left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Interlace your fingers around the right shin. Flex the feet. Stay here if you want to go deeper into the hip. You can cradle the left shin with the forearms. Right foot lowers down. It's intense. Coming back to the breath. Finding a place where you don't have to force it. And now we'll allow the left leg to cross over the right. Scoot your hips a little to the left, knees fall over to the right, and then gazing out towards the left. Let the face be soft. Just take another breath. On your exhale, back to center. Give yourself a tight little hug. Squeeze everything in. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale. Release down to the mat for Shavasana. Allow your chest to lift by wiggling your shoulder blades underneath you a little, and then relax back into the ground. Just be here for about a minute or two. That's what we have time for, but if you have more time, I encourage you to stay here even longer. See if there's anywhere that you can release a little more tension in the body, maybe places that you don't even know we're holding tension, like the jaw. Allow it to soften and slack back. The eyelids, the brow. And notice where you are in contact with the ground. And you soften even more there. Maybe noticing if the ground feels cool beneath you or warm.
Please stay here as long as you want, but if you're ready to transition, take an inhale and reach our arms overhead, pointing the toes for a full body stretch, and then rolling onto one side, coming up to comfortable seat. You can maintain an ease here, keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft. Bring your hands to your heart. We'll take up one breath in together, our final breath. Allow your shoulders to soften on the exhale. Thank yourself for showing up to your mat today. Namaste.